Many times on this process, I have questioned whether or not I should actually go through with doing this book. Should this be one of these ideas I get that I just let die? Because at the end of the day, who do I think that I am? Like, you can't just write a book, or can you? Who's gonna stop you? Fuck it. Write it. But maybe it seems random that a gaming YouTuber turned football storyteller wants to now write books. I'm not a trained writer, but I got this story in my head, bro, and writing a fucking book is the best way to get it out, because I don't need actors. I don't need Hollywood to okay the script. All I need is the ideas in my head. I can only rely on myself. That's why I have to do it like this. Whether it sucks or it's amazing, I really don't care, because it's my shit. I'm at a crossroads anyway, because my YouTube career is just hanging in the balance. I'm 37 years old, bro. I've been doing YouTube for 10 years, and I've seen the content game change while I was in it. But it's like maybe the skill set I've built over the last 10 years is now better suited in another field. YouTube might not always be here for me, which is not what I believed when I started on this platform. When that happens, you start to question your own creative voice. And as that voice gets quieter, other voices creep in. Now listen, don't trip. I'm not having a psychotic break. What I mean by other voices is like, you know, the self-help YouTube channels, the dude on the thumbnail looking like this. Here's the secret to blowing up your channel. Watching that bullshit, and you're doing that thing that I promised myself I was never gonna do. You become a caricature of yourself. You're trying to project what other motherfuckers think you're supposed to be instead of just being you. You can't define what the f I am. This book for me represents the largest creative endeavor that I've ever gone on. I'm way out of my depth. I'm uncomfortable, and usually that's when I grow the most. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about a few different things. Some of it basic announcement stuff. Some might get a little uncomfortable. First, I want to say thank you to everybody who watched season 1 of Gridiron City. Bro, that shit mean everything to me. I understand it's just a team builder dynasty, but to me this represents something way bigger, because it's connected to what is, at least at this moment, the greatest creative endeavor that I've ever gone on. And I really want to say thank you to all of my members. I've been on YouTube 10 years and I ain't never did a Patreon. I've never done a membership thing, so this is a first for me. And so for me, dog, it really just hit that much harder. First off, I have to give a shout out to Raiden, Trey, and the Shively Show, who joined the Gridiron Boosters. That's a $25 membership. It is not cheap, and I recognize that, and I truly appreciate it, bro. Then as far as the NIL deals, we got Jamboree Gomez, Harlow Weed, Scott Leon, Adam Sheikdon, Jose Cakes, Huncho Blake, Michael Ramirez, Carson Burns, Brandon Brantley, Cameron Frederick, and Quinn. Shout out to y'all, man, bro. Thank you so much, and I'll see you this weekend for the members only live stream, Saturday. Now, when will season 2 drop? Let's get this out the way at the beginning of the video. Season 2 will drop in October. So yeah, that is a full month from now. The next general question is, why the long break? And the thing is, this has actually been the vision from the start. The long break is actually not a break at all, because during that time I'll be working on the book. Like I said earlier, man, this book for me represents the largest creative endeavor that I've ever gone on. I'm way out of my depth. I'm uncomfortable, and usually that's when I grow the most. The word count for the book is 50,000 words, and when I started this YouTube series, I had about 25,000. So I've been working on this series on Sunday, Monday, and dropping it on Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the main channel. Now the football season's kicked off, my Sundays are spoken for, but that's cool, bro. I still got Monday and Tuesday. But for the next month, on those days, I'll be spending that time finishing the first draft of the book. Like I told you, man, my goal is to finish the first draft before this calendar year is actually over with. A few of the logistics on how that will work, I'm gonna actually finish the first draft by the time the series comes back out. I've already mapped it out. If I write Monday and Tuesday, 2,000 words a day for the next 4 to 6 weeks, I'll get to the 50,000 word mark and I'll complete the first draft of my story, which is honestly a huge accomplishment. Most writers never get through the first draft of their first book. But for me, honestly, bro, the hardest thing is just finding the time. Because you need time where you're not already mentally tired or don't have a bunch of other projects stacked on top of your shoulders, so you can actually have some creative space. And when that's the case, bro, the words just flow out. But maybe it seems random that a gaming YouTuber turned football storyteller wants to now write books. And I ain't gonna lie to you, dog, like I wasn't clear on this when I started YouTube, but I figured it out over the years. Like when I first built my channel on NCAA, I told y'all back then, bro, I didn't even watch college football. I ain't know which conferences to put certain teams in. I'm not the biggest college football guy. I'm NFL. Also, while I'm cool at the game, I ain't never been the greatest player, but I was still able to build the world and build characters within the game. And to me, along with my type of presentation, the stories was the strongest thread that you found in those videos. Back when I used to rap, that was about stories. What I do on the main channel, that's about stories. I'm not a trained writer, but I got this story in my head, bro, and writing a book is the best way to get it out because I don't need actors. I don't need Hollywood to okay the script. To write a book, all I need is the ideas in my head. So for me, that's just the logical thing to do. That's why writing a novel is the only way, because when it comes to creative pursuits, I can only rely on myself. That's why I have to do it like this. Whether it sucks or it's amazing, I really don't care because it's my shit, you know? And I want to rephrase that. It's not that I don't care. The need to tell the story is just stronger than my need to not fail. And who are we kidding? I'm at a crossroads anyway because my YouTube career is just hanging in the balance. I'm 37 years old, bro. I've been doing YouTube for 10 years and I've seen the content game change while I was in it. I'm like a pocket quarterback in today's football where you need to be an improvising quarterback. Today, that's the style that works. I'm like a 6'8" power forward with a fire post game, but I'm not a great rim protector and I can't shoot threes. As long as the game is in the form it's in now, I'm in trouble. It's like the game has grown away from my skill set. Over the last couple of years, I have slowly began to come to grips with that, and I spent time basically mourning the death of something I put so much time and effort and heart into. And it's time to accept that, yo, maybe the platform has passed me by, but I'm better than before. That's the confusing part about it. But it's like maybe the skill set I've built over the last 10 years is now better suited in another field. Or maybe I'll just be a jack of all trades. I don't really know. All I know is that for me, the last 2 years have f***ing sucked. My health has been on bullshit. My channel been on bullshit. And the worst part is my creative voice has been on bullshit. I said the last 2 years, but honestly, about a year ago, I got this story for the Gridiron City. I got this idea. I thought, man, that'll be cool. And I started looking around like nobody has done this shit. And what I mean is not the story that you've seen. That's not the story of Gridiron City. It's connected to the story of Gridiron City, but it's really not the main thing. It's not the main thing at all. That's why I'm so grateful to the few people who are watching this video and the people who have begun to form a connection with the story, a connection with the city, a connection with the themes, because those are the things that are in the main story. And I know it's difficult because I'm keeping so much close to the chest, but I had so many ideas stolen over the years, and that's just part of the game, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But because of that, now I'm a lot more closer to the chest when it comes to my ideas until they're ready to present. And because I'm not a creator who gets an idea one day and drops it the next, it takes time for my shit to bake. It's home cooking, not fast food. But I'm really excited about the potential career as an author, which is funny because the only writing that I've ever actually published was a short story that I did back in the day called Dre's Crazy Summer, which was an RTG character. I went back and read it and it actually came out pretty good. Because as time passed and I got away from it, I started to think it sucked because I wrote it in like 2 days, put it out so quick, and then I moved on and created 500 more things. But it's really not bad, and I've gotten so much better since then that, you know, that gives me some confidence. Although at the same time, I do recognize I'm going into a world that I'm not really trained to deal with. But what I do have is a lot of experience just telling stories in general. And I'm writing the story that I've always wanted to read. I think it's marketable. I think it'll evoke emotion. I think you'll have a connection there, especially y'all, because you're already adept with the Gridiron City, so you'll understand the themes of the story even more. And yes, by the way, there will be some carryover from things you see in the series to the actual book. Some things will be mentioned kind of like an Easter egg of sorts as a nod to the first people that opened their eyes to the Gridiron City. So here I'm speaking from strictly a creative standpoint because my life in general, besides my health, that's been a lot better recently, by the way. You could probably tell, like, I feel and look healthier. My family's been great. Me and my wife's connection has been phenomenal. My son's had some issues at school, you know, with the hyperactivity stuff. You know, at one point, bro, I was at the school, like, couple of times a week, but the dude is so damn smart, bro. He's so bright. He's a great kid. So that's a blessing in itself, but also his teachers see it. So even though he have the behavioral issues, they see his potential, so they put a lot into him, and I'm appreciative of that. But this Gridiron City story represents a lot for me. This is a transition period, bro, a crossroad in my life and a crossroads in my career. YouTube might not always be here for me, which is not what I believed when I started on this platform. But like I said, not only has the platform changed and the content game in general changed dramatically, I've changed. I've grown. Like, it's been 10 years and I've been through a lot of shit I ain't comfortable talking about. Before the Gridiron City came along, I had got so burned out doing what happened to videos just time and time again. And those stories, dog, they almost started to bleed together, and it's just like, damn, I feel like I'm telling the same story over and over again. And the crazy thing is, this was really at the height of the channel. I felt like Andre 3000 when Outkast was big and he's missing shows and stuff because he's just tripping on some creative bullshit, but he's messing up the money. Like, that's where I was at. But like I said, I got a family, I got a wife, I got a son, I got a mortgage, all these things that are riding on me. So I did what I had to do. Only thing I regret is not building the infrastructure that allowed me to step back. So I burnt myself out. You probably heard about burnout. You might think it's a mirage or some bullshit creators come up with. Think that, cool, I don't really give a shit. But I experienced it myself, and it's real as rating trait. After that, making videos just didn't feel the same. It felt more like work than it used to feel, you know? And not every video. Like, I still would have fun with it, like the one I did on the What's Up commercial and little stuff like that. I've actually done a bunch of those. You know, the stereotypes video, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, didn't fit the script, and over time, I felt like people lost some interest. I wasn't making what they wanted to see. Then the algorithm takes that a certain way, and eventually over time, you get de-emphasized, and after that, it's hard to get back into that thing. When that happens, you start to question your own creative voice, and as that voice gets quieter, other voices creep in. Now listen, don't trip. I'm not having a psychotic break. What I mean by other voices is like, you know, the self-help YouTube channels, the dude on the thumbnail looking like this. Here's the secret to blowing up your channel. Watching that bullshit. I've come to the same conclusion that I started out with. I just gotta be me. But I found out something. Just being me at 37 is a lot harder than it was at 27. And that's just the damn truth. Sometimes you gotta make a decision that don't feel the best creatively, but it puts your family in a better situation financially. But when you make that decision one or two times, you start to question yourself because it's not aligning. Doubt creeps in. The numbers come back. The numbers aren't good. Doubt grows more. Then you're physically unwell. You're in pain all the time. Injure your legs so you can't even go to the gym like you were. You put on a little weight. Your injury's not healing. And all this bullshit slowly separates you from the real you. And now all you got is echoes. And you're doing that thing that I promised myself I was never gonna do. You become a caricature of yourself. You're trying to project what other motherfuckers think you're supposed to be instead of just being you. You can't define what the I am. Like, I've been me for 37 years. I know who the I am, bruh. And it took a while for me to come back to that. But now, here I am. I'm the dude who takes chances. I'm a dude who quit his job to try a YouTube career before it was the popular thing to do like it is now, despite the fact that I had no prior experience that suggested I would be successful. Many times on this process, I have questioned whether or not I should actually go through with doing this book. Should this be one of these ideas I get that I just let die? Because at the end of the day, who do I think that I am? Like, you can't just write a book, or can you? Who's gonna stop you? Fuck it. Write it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got a story I need to tell, and I'm gonna tell it. And this is the form I chose to do that. I just hope this shit works. But the Gridiron City Season 2 will come out in October when the first draft is done. I really can't wait to reveal more about this story, which is why I'm taking this time to finish the draft. I gotta finish what I started, make the time to do it, and yesterday's writing session went phenomenally. I would be writing today, but I need to update y'all. So I'll do that, and next week I'll be writing Monday and Tuesday. Then the next week, Monday and Tuesday, until the series comes back in October, my bad by that, at which point I should be finished with the first draft. If you don't know how this works, the first draft isn't meant for anybody else to read. Basically just the skeleton of the story, you know, with some things really fleshed out, some not so much. I'll go back through and I'll edit, I'll add things, I'll take things out. But the hardest part is the initial draft. I know a break this long is unusual on YouTube. I'll still be doing members only live streams. Now my $25 members will be the first one to receive sample pages from the book once the second draft starts. You know, as I'm going through the book, correcting things and fixing things, and I get a page or two that's ready to be read by other people, I'll be sending it to them. So again, right now there's Sylvie Show and Raiden and Trey. I never forget how y'all was the first two people to support on that level, and it's even more motivation for me to make this work and turn it into something and make that investment feel worth your while. I don't take the lightly, no matter how cool I might play it. For everybody else, if you made it this far in the video, I want to invite y'all to join my email list. It's a monthly newsletter where you get updates on the book and the progress. Also, you get background information on characters from the YouTube series. For example, last week I started a short story on Ayaselfa Chung, a guy we recruited in season 1 who's now gonna be the starting quarterback for season 2. And this short story lets you start to kind of get to know him. What's his background, what's his motivations, and what he's looking to accomplish as the Gridiron City quarterback. This will be the next thing to go out for the email list, so you can start to form a connection to the quarterback before the season even starts. And I'm also planning to write something on Olsen and Bowie, so it's now free to join the email list if you want to get those early. If you don't, that's cool. I'll probably eventually post them here on the channel as well. But that's just if you want to support, keep you updated on the book, and when it's finally ready to launch, you'll be amongst the first to know. I know the news of the long break might bum some people out, but Doc, I gotta be honest, man, I'm so excited. As of now, I've written 28,000 words on this story, and I've done that in the midst of my whole other workload that I'm carrying. And it's felt so natural, bro. It's felt really good. But after the second draft, there comes a point where I have to get with an editor, somebody who reads books and edits books for a living, and I'm sure they're gonna tear that joint apart. And I'm ready for that too. I know my writing isn't perfect, but I know I have a story that only I could tell, and that's what I'm about to do. I've always believed in just expressing yourself and letting the chips fall. And I lost belief in that for a short period of time, but I found it again. And I'm not as optimistic as I was when I was younger, but I do still have faith that everything happens for a reason. So either way, man, writing this book is gonna lead to something great. Even if I can't see it yet, I just gotta believe that, keep my head down and keep working. I did that when building the channel. I've done it over these last couple of years when my jaw was hurting so bad I could barely even talk. I still recorded videos. I still brought the best I could. And I never made it an excuse, and I'm proud of that, bro. So this is the next chapter for you, boy. It's a lot on the line, but in my heart of hearts, I just believe I'm built for it. Over the last couple of years, dog, I took a bunch of punches, man. I lost a lot of rounds. Oh, I'm down on the cards, but the fight ain't over, so I'm gonna come out that bitch swinging until I knock something out or I'm fucking unconscious.